It's lovely to see you all, so many familiar faces. I've only lived in Logan for 2 years and I've met so many people. It's like a big country town. I love it to pieces. I'm very passionate about outdoor play and all play opportunities for children and adults. So thank you so much for having me, and before I start I do wish to pay my sincere respects to traditional owners of the land on which we meet. Underneath this building there's land down there. The Yugambeh and Yagara speaking people. I'm very excited to see emerging leaders come through from our Indigenous communities, and particularly at Kingston East Neighbourhood Group where I'm based. I've met wonderful people and I'm very privileged to work there. So thank you. And thank you to or Hayano I should say, for inviting me to speak, because I am nervous and I'm very humbled, because the days that I've been here have been so many incredible speakers and I feel incredibly lucky. So yes, I am an educator. I've had experience working with children, but today I visit you to talk about my experience as a mum, primarily, and also a new person to Logan. When I moved here, shortly after my husband and children and I moved here, we went into lockdown. So I didn't know anyone. I felt very isolated, I guess. I'm very aware of the fact that COVID impacted on a lot of people in a lot of ways. But for myself and my children, being pretty active outdoor people, my natural reaction was to be outside, but safely, you know, in the sense that we were told to stay home, but not play on playgrounds or go to the shops. So homeschooling became an ongoing excursion. We did lots of outdoor play. So coming from Melbourne, and I don't know if any of you have lived in Melbourne or Victoria, anyone? Yep. And anyone who've lived or grown up in suburbs that are quite industrial or, you know, smaller spaces, lots of concrete? Anyone? Yep. So you'll know it's restrictive when it comes to exploring nature. Honestly, having run bush kindies and tried to get outdoors as much as possible as a parent and as an educator in the suburb is pretty tricky. It would get to the point where, you know, I mean, the weather would be so bad that you'd have to wear 2 pairs of socks, leggings, tracksuit pants, puddle pants, gumboots, beanie, gloves, and then it's like, and then you can play in the puddle on the street. So coming to Logan, it was like, oh my goodness, this is an absolute, like, nationally kept secret of beautiful, you know, abundance of nature play. You could, for me, I was just like in heaven. And I've got a collection of photos of the year that I spent just starting to tread lightly and explore these places around Logan, and then start to sort of map them. And I'm at the beginning of my journey here, but in such a short period of time I was able to find these little sort of spots to discover. And the photo here is my daughter Pearl at one of her favourite trees at Alexander Clark Park. There's fairies here. 100% sure there's fairies that live here. There's lots of spider webs. There's lots of little hidey spots, all those rich play opportunities, which we regularly visit. This is my husband and kids going for a walk at, am I pronouncing it properly, the Venman State Forest? Also fantastic for nature play and discovery. We go there regularly. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful park with lots of quiet and lots of birds, and you can explore so many things. This is just near my daughter's kindergarten on Shayla Road. It's tucked away, and I'm just like, no one's here. You know, this isn't in lockdown. We go there weekly and it's empty. And again, I just reflect on my time in the suburbs of Melbourne, where a patch of grass is like gold, and then you come here and Logan just sets the stage for like the most incredible nature play opportunities. This is partially man-made with some logs and some bits and pieces, but there's heaps of snakes. It's really good for snake watching. There's really good opportunity for balancing and hiding and, getting up to mischief. Daisy Hill, Koala Park, absolute favourite. I'm on a mission to start a bush playgroup there. I talk about it a lot. I will take action. It's a slow process. I'm acquainting myself with Logan very gradually. It's a process. And also just learning. I like to genuinely pay my respect to the land, so I don't want to take something lightly. I need to learn about what the elders want for the community before I start that, but that's a talk for another day. But this spot's beautiful. If you haven't discovered it as a parent or as an educator, community member, check it out. It's stunning. There's like endless... We could be here, no toys, just a drink bottle, sunscreen, couple of snacks, 3-4 hours easily. You could play to your heart's content. This is a great spot. I think it's called Rosalie Park. It's the bottom of a hill in Shayla Park. This was a favourite for the kids, for the children I should say, because it's just a whole bunch of boulders, just rocks, and there's all the water dragons, and you can just, again, hours. Like, I would be like clock watching, come on, it's time to go, and they're like, no, we're not finished, it's just started. So they would just jump and climb and roll and get their feet caught and lose a shoe and, just have an absolute ball. More rock climbing. Again, Barimba wetlands, I believe, also excellent for snake watching, bird watching, listening to the wind, being present, very relaxing. Does anyone know about this fairy tree at Cornubia State Forest? Were you part of that? I still haven't yet found the people who created this incredible place. It's this old stump, and it's got fairy messages and flowers and letters, and if you climb inside, there's little furniture, and it's mind-blowing. I love it to bits, and we give offerings to the fairies, so we visit and we take an offering, and the children say, there you go. They give them all sorts of feathers and, glitter and whatnot. A little doorway. It's just beautiful. It's like a magic faraway tree. And of course, the front yard. You can see there's lots of opportunity for nature play. I'm not a big fan of toys. I don't mind loose parts. I think it's brilliant, but you've got everything you need from the trees and the land. Fairy gardens again, it's a big theme. The little villages. So as you can see, I just started mapping it. It's the beginning of my journey. I really invite people to, well, firstly, is there something you noticed about the photos I've collected? Is there a common theme throughout the photos that you can pick up on that I've been reflecting on? Yeah? Lots and lots of nature. What about the people factor? Not many people. I can't work it out. I don't know if I missed a memo along the line, the way that the sacred, or there's something I'm missing that maybe we're not supposed to play there. I don't know. Maybe COVID. Maybe before I arrived in 2019, it was busy with children there. I don't know. So I'm reflecting and I'm trying to work it out, and I invite you, not today, but in yourselves, and also to catch me if you feel like having a chat about it, because I like the idea of activating places and activating places that have potential. And I've done that before in my practice as an educator, and I invite you to consider it for yourselves as community members, to just have a little look over the fence or look down the street or check out pockets around where you work where there could be places that you could invite someone for a cuppa, or you can take a friend with children for a play. Because I went to a play centre, shortly after lockdown lifted, and it was full of children. So they're around and they're playing, but they're just playing in places that are natural gathering places. But I would like to see these sort of places being considered normal and available. And I'm fully aware of the fact that I have a car with fuel in it, and my husband was working, and I was very lucky to have time to take my children. And I'm realising more and more that that's not as easy for everyone to just go out bush and go for a walk, because we have work and we have barriers, we have challenges in our lives. But I think if it comes more and more normal and more available and respected and nurtured, then we might see more children out there, you know, out in those natural places. And sadly, it won't. It's a bit sad, but over time things do develop and get built up, as some of the young speakers have shared with us, that freeways are being planned, and, you know, more and more population growth. And from an environmental perspective, play is being threatened in that regard, for nature particularly. So I just invite you to ponder that and think about ways that you can join me in putting more of these places on the map available. You know, even as Nat is doing with her nature play with Nat, and what so many wonderful leaders in the community are doing by offering bush kindergarten and lots of opportunity for play for children. So I think if we just band together and spend more time on the land and being at one with it, we're nurturing it, inviting children to be part of it, I think we can definitely, really celebrate it together, because Logan really is a national treasure. It's not talked about much. You hear a lot about Brisbane, you hear a lot about Gold Coast, but this city is a perfect platform for play to grow and for everyone to be part. I think it's just a perfect place for this initiative to grow, and I'm excited to be part of it. And please find me to chat. I'm at Kingston East Neighbourhood Group a lot. I love it there, and I'm also on Facebook, and you can find me and send me a message through Logan Together as well, if you want to help me explore these natural places with children and discuss ways to activate them before they get taken away. Because if they're not being used and nurtured and loved, more and more concrete will get laid. So let's not forget these beautiful places of Logan. And that's all really for me, so thank you.